And welcome back to this Saturday's episode of Gabe's Cave. I'm one of your hostesses, Uncle Nasty.
I'm Brandon.
And today, we got something cool. We went and did something interesting this past weekend, huh?
Absolutely.
You didn't get to go, though.
No, but it was spooky.
It was spooky, and that was at the Horror Con. And this is the panel that we did with the Friday the 13th guys, CJ Graham and Warrington Gillette. Y'all check this out.
Guys, we have a microphone. Lexington out there has a microphone.
Hello, everybody.
You guys over here, y'all might have to make a trip to closer to him, but we highly encourage you guys to participate and ask these gentlemen questions. It makes it a whole lot more fun. So
It'll be a lot.
Can I say one thing? I want to thank everybody for coming out here. I can't believe every time I'm just in shock that we are talking about something that kind of happened a few years ago, and we're celebrating it. And I'm really grateful, and I just want to thank you all for being here and being so supportive. God, it's incredible. And
Are you done?
no, I'm just overwhelmed by it. I'm overwhelmed by it, and I'm grateful. Okay.
So as I was trying to say, if you want to direct your questions to me, it'll be a quicker answer than if you direct them to
we're just
Warrington.
having
So
fun.
short and sassy, and we can get through about 20 people. All right, Warrington, maybe 2 or 3. So pick your
That's
questions
fine.
real
Listen,
carefully.
We got to give credit where credit's due, you know?
all right.
It's up to you, bro.
Yeah, let's go, guys. Everybody. There's somebody in the front has also raised their hand, Lex. So when this man gets done, there's a gentleman right up front. Go ahead and let him go. He's already standing up.
Afternoon, gentlemen. Thank you for being here. I have 2 questions. In 2009, there was a reboot, and Jason ran. Was there any ideas about Jason running in y'all's movies? We actually watched part 6 last night, and he was moving with a purpose.
Well, I mean, I know Derek Mears personally, and if he was here, I'll kind of answer for him. I'll, tag it. It was just the way they wanted him to appear. It looked like he was more methodical, is what you're saying, in the caves and stuff. And it may or may not be appealing to some of the fans, but at the end of the day, when the director's giving you direction and you're an employee, you kind of instruct as. If you've met Derek, he's about 6'4", 235. I mean, just lean. I mean, but he did what he's instructed to do. It's like similar to the question when people goes, why didn't they pick Kane for Jason versus Freddy? It's not our call. We're the quarterback. We get put in, we do our job, and if they give the quarterback the starting position to the next person, we support.
Awesome answer. Awesome question.
That's good.
Questions
That's
are better
good.
with me.
I didn't
Go
know
ahead,
you were
sir.
that shy. He's a shy guy.
So, outside of your guys' respecting franchise, Friday the 13th, what are your 2 favorite horror movies outside of Friday the 13th?
Oh shit! I didn't know there were any others, but part 6. Damn, I gotta
Can I
pay
answer? Or
attention.
you going to answer?
You better answer because I don't remember part 6 and nothing else. I didn't know there were
Yes,
others.
it's for other horror films.
I didn't know there were other.
Oh, well, we love this guy, Alfred Hitchcock. And, he was living in Lake Como, and he's living in the Villa d'Este, this gorgeous hotel, and I suppose he's living there with Tippy.
What color was the carpet?
No, but anyway, I think what he created in that location were some of my favorites growing up, with Psycho, and that was unbelievable. And then I grew up when they had these disaster films like The Birds. God, I still remember it like I'm not happy with birds, but. So I got those. That's the answer. I think some of those, and Silence of the Lambs. Come on, that was heavy duty.
I'm a big, huge Universal horror fan, black and white. So anything that's a Frankenstein, with the old werewolf and Dracula, I'm in.
Awesome. Next.
Hi guys, what was your favorite kill?
You want me to go?
I mean, you can tell him about
I already know
the
the
sleeping
answer.
bag.
My
and all
favorite
that.
kill was the sheriff. I got to bend him over, break his back, like a Tootsie Roll, a chair, but no blood, no guts, just pure. You feel that popping vertebrae. It's kind of neat.
Nice.
I get in character.
Nice.
If you could design a dream kill for Jason, limit as your creativity, kill as many or as few as you want, no worry about budget, How would you design a dream kill for Jason?
Nice.
You know, I've thought about that, and I've been asked a similar question. If I was to be involved in part 13, I'd actually use social media platforms to go out to the fans and find some kills of originality that have never been done and what the fans would like to see done, because technology has changed at a point, but more importantly, we're allowed to get away with more on the screen than we were back in the 80s with blood and guts. So I'd go out and see what the fans would like to see to be put in those kills first, and then use that as a stepping platform to put together, because y'all have some great ideas. I mean, some awesome ideas that are just not generic. Like, let's tear somebody's head off. Okay, that's nice. Let's pull their heart out. Okay, I've been there, done that. But let's come up with some originality, and the folks that have the originality is you.
Oh.
You want my answer on this one? I do. Okay. I'm working on a project, and within the framework of that project, I'm writing it, I'm creating it, and whatnot. It's a story of Jason, this time getting revenge for the death of his father. The project is called Bloody Social. So now Jason, shifting gears from revenge for the mother, now Jason, the sympathetic vigilante, going to get revenge for his father, who got poisoned and dies on Friday 13th. So anyway, the conspirators will die. So I'm sitting here in my mind, what could Jason do that hasn't been done before that could be a little unique and different? So I would say within the whole, there's several. But one of the strongest ones was the coroner in the storyline that refused to do an autopsy because he got paid off in the sudden mysterious death of Jason's father. His name is Mr. Crust. He's playing on a golf course, which is an anti-Semitic golf course. It's called the Ever White Club. And and is modeled after a real club. Anyway, the coroner, his name's Mr. Crust. He's putting out his ball on the 13th green. And then here comes Jason bouncing down the fairway in his tricked out tractor, and no one really knows who the driver is because he's got his little disguise going on. Yes, he bounces down the berm, bang up onto the green, and he just mulches over Mr. Crust. So you see an array of fabric, ping golf club, bouncing, ricocheting off palm trees. And then as he drives, he goes off on a tractor through the white sand trap. So the mulching of Coroner Crust. What do you think, CJ?
I don't go, so I don't know.
It could end up being a black comedy because, you were laughing.
When did Jason learn how to drive a tractor?
Dad.
Well,
Dad. Oh, is it? Who's driving the tractor?
This is a whole nother story. So it's not Jason Voorhees. It's another person in another context.
Oh, okay.
So his father, he believes, was wrongfully killed. So now you have a Shakespearean Hamlet-like character. Now he's going to get revenge of the death of the father.
Okay.
And you will root for him.
I'm already rooting for him.
And revenge. It's all about revenge, which is a dish best served cold.
Mm-hmm. Or on a John Deere.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe John Deere will be a product placement. Hey, listen, we're all going through the creative process. So as I said before, this has got to be great inspiration to make something. And to come up with some unique and different murder sequences that haven't been done before. Right, CJ?
You got it. I told you, direct your questions over here.
Hey, listen. We got to make our own. Friday 13th's been on hold for a decade. I don't know why they can't seem to work it out.
Here we go back to the math. It's been 14 years, okay? It's like,
okay, Friday 13th's been on hold. I'm shocked at that.
You guys ever
14 years.
You ever seen a bunch of guys that are all family members? You can tell how we are. It's like back and forth. Dad, 14. I'm your favorite. No, I'm his favorite,
Are you sure it's been 14?
2009. That's why it's called Jason 2009.
Well, look, every time I turn around, the dispute continues.
Remember, y'all know I ran casino resorts for 25 years. You want to play the numbers, statistics, and algorithms? Let's roll. I got that.
Was that the casino where you had the loaded dice?
I can tell you where some things are buried if you'd like to find out.
All right.
Sir, please jump in anytime you wish.
Yeah, anytime you're.
Hello there,
We're going to go
fellas.
on as long as they let us until they pull the microphone apart.
I had a question. Do you have any stories from behind the scenes on set that you remember that were pretty funny or interesting? Were there any practical jokes or anything?
Well, I was going to let you go first.
Oh. Well, I'm on the set, and I'd never been on a set before. And, I guess they thought that, that I was this well-seasoned stuntman, and yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, absolutely. I have no idea how old I was. Let's just call me 20 at the time. I'm bad with numbers and age, and yeah, because I live in denial. But anyway, here we did have the platform outside that cabin. And yeah, my job was to take a few strides, 3 strides, and boom. And the first time, I completely hit it and ricocheted off of it. I go, what the hell was that? Yeah, and so then we had to completely start over, fix the face, and go through the whole goddamn thing. And this is about 1 in the morning, because you would start shooting at 8 at night. So by midnight, you're in the prime hour. Yeah, so this was my big stunt, and yeah, ricocheting off of it, it was just shocking, and everybody was angry, and it was not cool.
I apologize. Could you ask the question again?
Do you have any interesting stories from behind the scenes on set? Any funny stories or anything that you can recollect?
Yeah, my numbers are good. My memory is gone. No, I appreciate it. It's a good question. Part 6, there's scenes that you may or may not see, and we'd have to actually put it up and kind of spot check it. But they had a rubber chicken hanging in the background, so the shadow would be up in the back all the time. And it was an ongoing thing with a company called Real Effects for that rubber chicken to be somewhere in the background that it wouldn't be seen. It was just a shadow. So in other words, if you're shooting this way, the chicken would be on this side. There's the shadows in there. You go through and start looking. So that was kind of the fun thing everybody's doing. As far as anything abnormal, I was always hiding somewhere, so nobody really get a chance to see me. When I stepped on set, I was in character, wardrobe, even a mask, so that I really didn't have a relationship with anybody. It was just, here comes the monster. And, so you see a monster walking through the woods in the middle of the night. It's kind of a little bit of an eye-opener. So, but the chicken thing is a pretty thing good for us that it's out there. So, and I see it sometimes, I go, there's that chicken. So, ongoing joke for the Part 6 cast.
Do you accept questions from little Michael Myers?
That ain't Michael Myers.
Yeah,
Dude.
yeah.
Go ahead, Kiss. Let it rock.
Well, my name is Jason.
What's up, Jason? High five. High five.
Jason.
Tell him your whole name. Go ahead.
Jason Frederick Seville.
Oh.
Say that again.
Jason Frederick.
Okay.
My last name is just. Did you ever get claustrophobic behind the mask?
I did. But at the time, I was a little younger, 27-ish. See how I do that? If I'm not positive, 27-ish.
2070.
Yeah, so between 27 and 28, give or take. But when you're that young, like your age, you just think you can do anything. You can take that bike and you can do a backflip and you can go through the skating park and nobody's going to fall. You're never going to hurt yourself. So you really don't take it out of character. But when you're 20 feet underwater with a chain around your neck, breathing off a regulator and shooting in the middle of the night, and you can't get anywhere if you try to because the chain is a real chain, you're standing on 2 center blocks, so they have a location to bring you back underwater, and all you can hear is the clicking of the camera, which means take a deep breath and let the regulator go and go to work. It can be a little claustrophobic, but you just kind of like zone out, to be quite honest. When you're being set on fire, same thing. You just you see the fire coming over the mask, you're thinking, oh, what did I get myself into? But every time you do a stunt, they pay you more money. So every time they gave me an extra check and I had to be set on fire multiple times, I got more money. I was like, just keep on rolling. So, but yeah, going through walls and windows, it is a little claustrophobic. You just hope that when you get to the other side, you don't get hurt. And personally, I was fortunate. Scrapes, bruises, that's the worst I got.
In my case, they wanted to close off an eye, which I don't know if you've ever closed off an eye. The first thing, you lose your depth perception. Now you're living your life with one eye, and that's very disoriented. Then they start gluing all these prosthetics on your face, and yeah, it starts to get claustrophobic, and you have no idea of your depth perception. So then if you want to time something you're doing, yeah, but like everything in life, you have to learn to deal with it. I had a guy in Vegas, and he put my whole head in a cast to create a mold to make a mask. And then your whole head just got wrapped up in the material that they used as a form to make a mask that then would go on your head. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you just have to learn to deal with it. Take a deep breath.
And how hard was it to see out of the mask? In Warrington's case, you couldn't see very well at all. But
no, my face was open, but just one eye was shut. So the other eye was wide open. I could see. But then you have respect for people that are living their life challenged. Then you're in their shoes. You go, oh my God.
So with a hockey mask, your peripheral vision is knocked out. I mean, if you just put your hand up like this and look through it and close one eye, that's my vision. So when people go, how did you walk so well? Two things. I'd only been on the military short period, so I still had that 30 inches all around March. But secondarily, I can't see my feet hitting the ground, so you want to make sure every time you put your foot down, you hit solid every time you take a step. But if you just take your eye and go like this, close one eye, it'll give you an idea. I can't see anything to the left or right. I can just see forward.
Thank you for your question.
Thank
Great
you,
question.
Jason. Little Jason.
What was the audition like for Jason? Did you just get a phone call? Did someone see you on the street and go like, wow, you're big. You should be Jason.
Me?
Either of you.
I'll let him start. He takes longer.
Yeah, I know. And CJ is lost for words, too. But you have an agent, and I guess the agent submits you for a role. In my case, I was submitted for something else. So then you go in, and then you start hitting them with, the lines that you were given beforehand. So then, I don't know. Then it comes down to you and a few other people. And in my case, then they said, no, they went with the other people. And then they said, well, we would rather have you be Jason. So I had no frame of reference, so I didn't really know what was required to be this actor parading around a set as Jason. And then, of course, the journey continues, and then they started casting for part 6. And I don't know what happened. What happened?
So for me, it's a little different. I didn't go to LA to be an actor, a stunt guy, whatever. I actually went to LA to look at LAPD. Running a nightclub in LA, I had a hypnotist on Thursdays. They put a show up on the screen, and they brought in a company called Real Effects to produce the show. They just happened to be the folks that did part 4 with Ted White. And they said, why don't we put CJ's big ass in the wardrobe from Ted White, and we'll do a scene coming through the screen for the subjects as Jason. And I said, okay, I did it. And when I say the rest is history, that's how I got it. It wasn't even meant to be. They just kept saying they're going to cast me. And 3-4 months later, I got a call to go down to meet Frank Mancuso Jr. at Paramount Studios, and Tom McLaughlin, writer-director, and, the stunt guy. So, sometimes quality and quantity is all the same when it comes to luck. Sometimes luck is just luck. I got lucky.
Lexington,
Yeah, I met Frank also, because his father was president of Paramount, and then he was, I guess, spearheading the project. Interesting. This was 7 years later. 5 years later. 4. I don't know, part 2 to part 6, but it wasn't even 4 years, was it?
I'll take the Fifth Amendment.
When he gets ready to ask his question, hand him the mic, let him ask it, and then come here a minute. Let me whisper in your ear.
Okay. Oh, you guys, why don't you go on your date tonight later?
Man, we gotta have a come to Jesus about them carts that roll by. Go ahead, ask your question, brother.
All right. So there's lots of stunts, lots of effects. What scene did you have the most pressure to get the take?
For me, it wasn't pressure. It was just there's a scene where I go through the wall in the window and have to step down 1 foot. It wasn't pressure. It was, hey, if you can get this done in one take, that'd be great, because it'll save $25,000 to have to reset the whole thing because it's a fake wall with windows and stuff in it. So pressure, no, it's everything you do has recourse. If you can get it done in one shot, bravo. We save money. At the end of the day, the nice thing about it in part 6, after we got finished, went back to Los Angeles, they did the budgeting and realized they had enough money for 3 more kills, and we added 3 more kills in the end of it in Griffin Park because of that cost effectiveness of everybody doing their job the first time and not having to do a lot of retakes.
In my case, we didn't have the luxury of these, fabulous digital cameras and digital screens, where now they're going to do something now and then just go look at it and see, oh, did we get that take, or do we have to do it again? So in my case, they're trying to do it 10 times, 15 times, because we're shooting in film, the old, and then we never saw the film when they got developed and had dailies, and we never saw it. So we actually had no idea. It was just over and over and over. And yeah, they didn't know if they got it or not. They just do it again,
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Nice to meet you guys. So I have a completely non-serious question. Since you guys have put on the mask or the bag, right? So how do people react when you ask them to go camping with you?
Good question.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a super
Never had
fair.
that question before, but I think most people would have 2 thoughts. 2 thoughts would be, one is hell no. Second one is I'm going with somebody. At least I know that I'm going to be protected because the guy carries a machete. So it's going to think it's a flip or a flop.
I think in my case, people like the idea. They say, "Yeah, let's go camping," or "Yes, I'll see you in my cabin," or "Yeah, let's go to the lake," or it's all positive and fun. So it's not like, I'm going to be afraid to go in the woods with you. I don't think I look that menacing.
I'd be afraid to go in the woods with you.
I think people say, "Yeah, let's go to the woods, let's go to the camp." Yeah, yes.
I'd be afraid to go down the street with you the way you act. These people think we're crazy and start jumping us.
Oh, man.
I'm a bodyguard for my little brother.
I keep shooting these little promos that are fun, so I felt like I'm almost reliving it as I recreate it. So we do have these little scenes at campfires and at the lake, and Jason's attacking somebody and the kids are screaming, and so it's all been fun, but no one at any time's really been freaking out about it. They celebrate, Jason.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
You guys seem to have a great rapport with each other. Do you guys have a similar relationship with your final girls in each of your movies?
Or what?
Oh.
Your final girls?
What's a final girl?
Oh, the girl who survives.
Oh.
Oh.
That went over my head. I'm sorry. I got a final girl. Okay, well, as far as the folks that I still see Darcy and some of them out, and even the guys, Tom Matthews is here today downstairs, Yep, give it for Tom.
Woo!
So I see quite a few of them all the time when I'm doing shows and stuff, and the relationship was good then, from a professional perspective. They embraced me as being a non-actor or a stuntman. I was just somebody off the street that got lucky. But I developed, I created, and I did what I had to do. Darcy's a good example. She allowed me to take her head physically and throw it into a camera as fast as I could and stop it as fast as I could. Now you got to remember the camera lens is about, so that's a pretty good space to put somebody's face in. And she do it, and she let me throw it into, Tom let me take a real knife and plunge it towards his head and then stop. And then they put the dummy knife in to go in and out. So and Tom Matthews downstairs, he probably did 95% of his stunt underwater with me. I mean, physically allowed me to kick his ass underwater until both of us, had to signal for air to bring the safety divers in to stick a regulator in our mouth. But so I was fortunate. It could have been a competency thing, but more importantly, I think they trusted me. And so I think we have a great relationship even today, because we still talk about the stunts that I was involved in that they had to participate in with me physically, kicking their butt basically without hurting them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, same with me. I mean, all the final girls, we all have a great relationship, great rapport. We do run it. We see each other work together at cons. Amy Steele and Lauren Marie Taylor, and they're very popular, and a lot of fans, they keep coming. Yeah, we have a great relationship. It all worked out great. There's only one I haven't seen from that. Yeah, but we all have a great rapport.
Awesome. Hey guys, thanks for being here. So they recently are going to be delisting the Friday the 13th video game that they put out because of the whole licensing drama. Did you guys ever play that, see it, or anything? I have any input on that? Because that game's awesome and it's very underrated. And they're getting ready to release the Texas Chainsaw Massacre video game, same company. And they have fortunately got a lot more time and money behind this one. Unfortunately, they didn't get to do what they set out to do with Friday the 13th. So if you guys played that, have any insight on that? It'd be cool to hear. Thank you.
I will tell you that Kane Hodder did all that. I don't know if you know Kane. He did 789X. So he was involved in all of that from the beginning. You're talking about the Jason concept. Of course, that game, they put it on hold because, of course, it started making money. All right, so it kind of went from, ooh, who cares? Oh, it's making money. Stop it. Here's cease and desist, right? Now, the Leatherface, he also played Leatherface, just so you know. So I don't know the answer to your question directly, but I can tell you next time you see Kane, he was heavily involved with that and still is as far as playing the Leatherface. And I'm sure it's going to be friggin' amazing because everybody's got into the game platforms much more heavily over the last decade, and they become much more diversified as far as the technology, the way it's seen on the screens.
Well, the license expired, right?
Can I say something real quick?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to elaborate a little bit on the video game situation. Is that's one reason why people have such a big fuss about them going straight digital and them not making physical copies of the game, because then that allows them to later come back and do things like that. Even after you've already spent the money, they can take it away from you.
Who did you enjoy killing the most and why?
Step into my office, I'll show you.
Jesus.
Well, I'll let my brother go, but real quick, mine is still my favorite kill, which is the sheriff. So I mean, of all of them now, as far as my favorite kill, that's my favorite kill. So it's kind of hard for me to back out of which one was my to kill. I enjoyed them all; they were done well. The scenes in part 6, I think, were done well. But I'll always be stuck with that breaking that vertebrae back in half. I like it.
Damn. I can't say that I enjoyed the kills because you're kind of shocked as they're unfolding before you, and you're like, I can't believe I'm part of this. Like, huh? So I'd have to use the word maybe you were entertained or you were a little bit shocked. Like, and again, I was young, so I was like, oh, I can't believe this. So I would say the most shocking, disturbing, and like, wow, could have been that wheelchair scene going backwards down the staircase. God, that was just unsettling for me. Poor Tom McBride, like what? And then, of course, the other couple, you're 20, the other couple are, in the bed together, and then they get impaled, in the heat of the moment. God, I couldn't imagine. I think it disturbed the poor girl the worst. She's had a rough ride since. But anyhow, rough ride, poor thing. But that was the. So I don't want to say I enjoyed it. Wow, but I was amused. Yeah.
Okay, like in the scenes that you guys had, was there any time that you got to, present your idea or change a part in the script that you can tell us what it would be when we go back and watch your show and go, hey, that was all me. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I got an idea. I'm going to lift this guy up. I'm going to stick him to a tree, blah, you know, or whatever, you know, something that was yours?
For me, I didn't. You know what? The first time I ever been on a set, so I'm a good soldier. I take orders well. Tom McLaughlin gave me direction, but he also gave me the fortitude to be able to make decisions if I wanted to on the fly. So there's nothing I can really say, oh, that's mine, I own that, other than I think I did a good job. I tried hard, and if I did, then I own that. All right, so I can't stay with that platform. I was real proud of what we had done and accomplished. And just to be here with a couple hundred folks here, 250 people, almost 4 decades ago, later.
No, it can't be.
You know, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's picked up on multiple generations. I mean, we're talking people that come up to my table that are 4 years old and getting autographs, and then people, you know, I'm 66, my age, coming up and older, getting autographs. So for me, it's just been an honor.
You know, you're young and you're on the set, and you have in my case, Steve Miner was our director. He is telling you to do it this way. You couldn't really give somebody twice your age your opinion of something, and particularly if you've never done it before. Like, some superstars like whomever, like Cruise. If a stunt guy tells him, "Oh, Tom, you can't do this," guess what Tom Cruise says? You're fired. Then he gets another stunt guy. Oh, okay, this is what I want to do. He says, "Oh yeah, you could do it. You could do it really well." Then that motorcycle, and goes right off the cliff. But no, you could not give anybody any back talk, or you'd be gone.
But in the back of your mind, you probably had some
I don't know.
ideas.
You had an assignment. Do this, and make it happen. Okay. Period. Period. It's my way or the highway, dude. You know.
So like, there's a theory that Jason can teleport. Do you think he can just teleport around? And do you think he just runs really fast and just jumps like 10 feet? Because like in the 2009 movie, he goes from in the shed to now in the house. So do you think he has like mystical powers and can teleport, or he just on like cocaine and can just zoom around?
Cocaine, Jason.
Yeah,
that's
intense. It. Yeah.
You must have watched Cocaine Bear. No, man, beat me up, Scotty.
Well, didn't he find a kilo at Crystal Lake? Somebody left it?
That could be what happened.
I knew there was a reason you're like you are.
You know, it's like the sharks. They got a hold of some cocaine, and now it's a different breed of fish.
No,
So
I don't.
Jason
I don't
got a
know the
little
answer.
hopped up.
I don't believe so. I think it's movies. You know what I'm saying? It's like expect the unexpected. The only thing I think that's really great about the Friday the 13th and some of the older films is the originality of it's not a green screen. I mean, I like Fast and Furious. I think it's a decent film. But how many times can you jump out of an airplane, forget your parachute, land on a tank, pick up a 50 cal machine gun, hit the ground, and come up firing? It's just at a point you kind of go. But now, Jason, you can open up your car door. You can look out your window tonight at the woods. You can look at somebody coming down the street by the bushes, and you could see that formula coming at you.
Yeah, absolutely, guys.
All right.
Are they clapping for you?
Look. Thank you all. Wow. We're so overwhelmed with all of this. It's still shocking to me. We're discussing Crystal Lake, and I hate to admit it, back in the 80s. What was going on at Crystal Lake in the 80s? I don't know.
You guys give it up. Round of applause. Y'all clap. Let it be loud. Yeah. Thank you, sir. It was awesome. Thank you, brother. It was awesome. Thank you for your service, too.
I hope you enjoyed that panel with Friday the 13th. You did an excellent job hosting that panel. Excellent questions, excellent audience interactions.
Yeah, man, it always makes it more fun when the audience gets involved and they ask all them questions. And pretty cool to see CJ sneak up on old Lex and sit down like that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's too bad the camera didn't catch that for you guys.
I know.
Y'all were too busy looking at me. All right, guys, well, don't forget the Wednesday episodes where you get to meet the artists and you get a chance to win the cards. And September 30th through October 1st, we'll be hosting another panel at the Cowtown Comic Con. We were also hosting another panel before that, but this video is going to air this Saturday, so they will get to see that.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's not too late. August 25th, we will be at Shreveport at GeekedCon. Yeah, so you guys get excited about that.
Get geeked out.
Jay and Silent Bob will be there. All right, guys. Well, until next episode, we out.